Okay, let's get to our last set of audience questions before the Thanksgiving break. Just a reminder, we'll be off on Thursday, Friday for the Thanksgiving holiday. The show isn't canceled. We'll be back Monday and just taking a couple of days off. First question today via the audience. Can Donald Trump beat Joe Biden with the faithless electors scenario that is being drawn out? So I want to explore this. Now, I want to say up front, this is 99.9% pure fantasy. I'm going to give you sort of the two versions of this that exist, and we'll talk about why neither is going to happen. So the way that the election works is that each state holds an election. Massachusetts gets a result, and Florida gets a result, and California gets a result. And if Donald Trump wins Florida, Florida sends Republican electors to cast Florida's electoral votes for Donald Trump. And if Joe Biden wins Massachusetts and California, as he did, Massachusetts and California have Democratic electors chosen by the party, tend to be very loyal to the party, cast their electoral votes for Joe Biden. So the first faithless elector scenario is the simpler one, which is you have electors that revolt for some reason. They don't have faith in the candidate that their state has voted for. So a Democratic elector from Massachusetts, for example, says, I don't care that I'm a Democratic elector. I don't care that the state voted for Joe Biden. I will vote instead electorally for Donald Trump instead of Joe Biden. Now, that would be one elector that needs to do that. It is always very unlikely that you're going to have any significant number of those. There were two for Donald Trump in 2016. Remember, Donald Trump won 306 electoral votes, but in the end got 304 because of two faithless electors. Okay. This time, because Joe Biden likewise has 306 electoral votes, you'd need 36 electors to be faithless and flip to get to a tie in which the House of Representatives controlled by Democrats would vote, or you would need 37 electors to be faithless and flip to hand Donald Trump an electoral college victory. It's a fantasy. It's simply not going to happen, period. And it is, that is just simply not going to happen. So then there's this other idea, and this was written about before the election, and I covered it extensively, and we've talked about it a few times, which is a strategy in which if you have a state with a Republican legislature and a Republican governor that Biden won, they could choose to send Republican electors anyway to vote for Donald Trump, even if Joe Biden won the popular vote in the state. It's not going to happen. And the reason that's not going to happen is, as I mentioned, you need both the governor and the legislature to do it. If you have just the so first of all, you're only looking at states Biden won because you need to flip those states. You look at states Biden won with Republican legislatures. You first need Republican legislatures willing to do it. And then in addition, if you get a Republican legislature willing to do it, you need a Republican governor who is not willing to veto it. And there simply aren't enough states meeting these characteristics to make that a possibility. And it even if they were willing morally, even if they had no problem with this ideologically or whatever the case may be, they're not going to be able to do it. Now, just for the sake of exploring, imagine that somehow they figured out a way to manipulate electors or convince electors or bribe electors or whatever the case may be in order to flip the results for Donald Trump. What the hell happens internationally? The presidency would be seen as an illegitimate presidency internationally. This would be different than, you think back to the year 2000 and Florida and hanging chads and the idea of George W. Bush as an illegitimate president. It did not impact, countries accepted that George W. Bush was president. I believe that if Donald Trump were somehow to figure out a way to use this elector scheme to reverse the results, I believe that he is seen as a completely illegitimate president internationally in a way we've never seen before. But we don't even have to hypothesize. We don't even have to wonder, because it's not going to happen. Joe Biden's going to be sworn in on January 20th. The only scenario that could delay but not stop this is one I'm going to talk about a little bit later on in this segment. Our sponsor, PureVPN, is having a huge Black Friday sale right now. They're giving you 88% off a subscription, which comes out to only a little over $1 a month. PureVPN makes you anonymous when you're browsing online, and you can trust them because they're the only VPN in the industry with an always-on third-party audit to verify that your internet activity is not being logged. By hiding your IP address, PureVPN keeps you safe from hackers and prevents you from being spied on by your internet service provider, social media companies, and even government surveillance. It also lets you watch shows and movies that aren't available in your country. PureVPN is super fast. You can use it on all of your devices. And I can tell you firsthand, the app is really easy to use. And they have 6,500 servers across the world, which is more than any other VPN in the industry. Everyone should be using a VPN when connecting to the internet, and now is the perfect time to start because PureVPN is giving you an 88% discount on a subscription, which comes out to only a little over $1 a month. Go to davidpakman.com/purevpn. The link is underneath the video.